What's up guys, Garlander here. I'm in the demo portion of my bus build. I didn't want to do a lot of crazy long videos of me demoing parts of the bus, but I did want to touch base on some of the stuff that makes this bus different from a skoolie build. There's a lot of videos with skoolies and there's a lot of information out there for those, but there's not really any information about this. I looked at this bus and saw a lot of things that appealed to me. It being a low floor bus, it sits real low, kind of runs on airbags, and has a nice body style. It's kind of an 80s kind of retro looking body style, even though it was built in the 2000s, well 2000 to be exact. Those things kind of appealed to me, which does come with a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, and I wanted to touch base on all of those things. So in case anyone else is looking at this bus and sees something that, you know, they want to convert it into a little tiny house space, these are some of the things that you're going to have to be aware of. It being a low floor bus, cool and all, running on airbags, there's no space under the bus. So you're not going to be able to store any of your water tanks or any extra storage under the bus. One of the good things that comes with that is the headspace inside of the bus. I stand up in there comfortably, with plenty of space on top of that. I'm actually going to have to build a ceiling inside of there, and it'll even make it lower, and I'll still have plenty of space to work with. So you got to keep that in mind when you're trying to lay stuff out inside the interior, and you got to kind of use your space accordingly. Other thing inside, you know, taking the seats out of the bus, very simple. I've seen a lot of videos with skoolies where, you know, removing seats is a very difficult task. They run the seats in the skoolies, they run a lot of the hardware through the floors. This one is all attached to rails on the walls, really simple bolts, comes out real quick.
Sugar's got some sweetness to it, as do my baby's lips. Now once you hear some old howling wolf, she got to move her hips.
Paneling on the ceiling, Sawzall makes quick work of that stuff.
A little kick with a lot of bottom lip, the resonator take the ride. So listen up, oh look at here, I'm talking about them country blues. Now you can take some black diamond strings and put them on a J45. You hit them chords, you get that thump, you're downright sanctified. Or you could take a lipstick pickup and play it through a Fender Twig. It's so sweet, so goddamn sweet when it's...
The AC unit on top of the bus is not an easy task. You can see the shell behind me. Cutting it up into pieces and removing the pieces first off the top of the bus is probably the only way to go. You can see, if you take a closer look at it, there's some eyelet pieces. It looks like when they do service on these AC units, they probably lift them with a hoist, and that's probably the easiest way to get it off if you have that, you know, ability or those things around. As you can see, this barn's not going to hoist anything off the top of that bus, so the best way to do is just kind of cut it up into pieces and drop it off the side. There's a lot of electrical running in the ceiling of this bus. I'm going to have to move some of it around accordingly to, you know, better place my walls and get them out of certain areas. There's a lot of hydraulic lines and a lot of compressor lines and coolant lines running to the AC unit and to the rear of the bus. In the rear of the bus, there is a storage compartment in the very back top part of the ceiling, and that's where they keep the compressor tanks for the air ride. You can't really move that or relocate it, so you got to work with that space the best you can. One thing I noticed, that I mentioned before is how big the AC unit was on top and how heavy and cumbersome it was. So that being said, I'm not too worried about putting anything on top of the bus, weight wise. I know that it can support whatever I need it to. Now, if you have a big AC unit on the top of your bus like I did, all of the radiator pieces and all of the copper pieces are worth some money. The fiberglass and all that other stuff, you're not going to make any money. You might as well cut it up and throw it out in your trash or bring it to the dump. On the next video, I'll show you some sketches that I made up of the spaces and some cartoon drawings that I did of how I'm going to design this thing, and I'll show you, I've been doing some layout with some duct tape to kind of give me a visual reference and some measurement ideas and what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I'm pretty pleased to be done with most of the demo work, and now it's just time for cleanup, and then I can move on to the design part of it. Pretty excited about that, and I can't wait to show you guys. So stay tuned on the next one, and we'll jump into some design work, and I'll show you where I'm going. So check me out on Instagram, Garlander, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Loose. Now I'm just going to cut all the hard lines that are attached to it for the compression system. I already know that these are deactivated because there's a couple of fittings over there that I was able to compress and test out, and the system's not active and the compressor's not on, so there's not going to be any pressure in here. So I'm just going to hack away whatever lines is holding this to the bus and then get rid of it.